Thank you very much, guys. Until the next game, peace.
Peace.
You may have heard that Japan has got many rules, many laws, and lots of structure and red tape, and people have to follow some serious guidelines in order to actually survive here, or in order to make sure things actually function and work here, like not talking on the trains or keeping on the left side of the road when you're walking in between subway stations, yada, yada, yada. 100%, or okay, maybe not 100% true, but about 97% true, because here people do like things to be orderly. And I gotta tell you, somehow I enjoy it. I really love it. And here's an example of a situation where things are run orderly. If you go to an event, let's say a concert, for example, here in Japan, it's always crowded. There is a lot of people that usually go to these events. It's so crowded, just as an example, that before you can actually buy a ticket, in some cases, not always, in some cases, you have to go through a lottery system. So you apply to enter the lottery, and then they will choose who gets the tickets, because there's so many people that want to buy a ticket to something. Let's say, for example, a Trevor Noah concert, stand-up concert or something, or maybe a Bad Bunny is coming to perform in Tokyo. There will be lots of people wanting to go attend the concert, but the space obviously is not enough to accommodate everyone. Therefore, there will be a lottery, and if you're lucky enough, you'll get a ticket. Correct. That actually does happen quite a lot here. Going to concerts here can be very difficult because it's so difficult finding tickets. I remember in 2019, when I moved to Tokyo from Nagasaki, I wanted to go watch the rugby match, or a rugby match for the 2019 World Cup that was held here. And in the lottery that I had entered in, before I could enter the lottery, I was waiting online to be able to enter the lottery. And I was number 200,000 or something like that. But eventually I made it, and I got a ticket, and I made it to the rugby game. But now, here's the whole point of this video is to tell you about these laws and these rules. No, not to tell you about the laws and the rules, but just to give you an example of why structure and why rules and why following the law is so important here in Japan. And I'm going to take one example of stampedes, like overcrowding, when there's too many people, because these crowds can be so hectic. Now think about it. Think about all the deaths that have occurred due to stampedes. Like, there was crazy stampedes during the World Cup in the United States, right? The FIFA, not the FIFA World Cup itself, the Club World Cup. If you are in South Africa, you might remember the stampedes that happened in the early 2000s when Kaizer Chiefs was playing Kaizer Chiefs was going to play against Orlando Pirates, the Soweto Derby at Ellis Park. Right? I think I have the details correct. But yeah, and then also here in Japan, I think in 2018 there were massive stampedes due to overcrowding in Shibuya for Halloween. And that also, same thing also happened in South Korea. In fact, in South Korea, a lot of people died. So stampedes are very dangerous, right? You agree, right? So these stampedes are hectic, but Japan has got this really amazing way of crowd control. And it's not something major. It's not like they've got tons and tons of security guards running around with police batons or, protective shields beating people up. Fortunately, Japanese people are also quite law-abiding, Most of them like to have things done in a harmonious way, which is one of the biggest reasons why I love being here in Japan. But anyway, they have this magnificent way of controlling crowds. They've got a couple of people with these loudspeakers always saying, please try to keep on the left, or please try to keep on the right. Please try to be patient. Let other people pass, let the elderly pass, try to walk slowly and walk orderly. Eventually, we will all get to our destination. But what's important is that we get there safe. You take these things for granted. I remember some of the first times when I went to an event here in Japan, all I wanted to do was rush through to get to where I was going, to get to the train station, for example, so that I can get home quickly, or rush to get to the stadium so that I can get to my seat quickly. But yeah, no, those things are what actually lead to stampedes, and they are what lead to frustration, you getting an injury or injuring somebody next to you. So the crowd control here is crowd It's my South African accent coming out. Yeah, crowd control is really, really incredible here in Japan. And here's an example. Last week or a week and a half ago, me and my friend Evans, we went to watch a game, and this was really awesome. We went to watch FC Tokyo versus Urawa Reds, two big clubs in the J League. The J League is the first division of football, of soccer here in Japan. It's equivalent to some of the top leagues in the world. If you think of the Premier Soccer League in South Africa, if you think about that English one where they have teams like Manchester United and Chelsea and Liverpool, I can't remember what's the name of that league, but yeah, that one. And then they got the Bundesliga in Germany with Bayern Munich and Dortmund and Mönchengladbach and all sorts of other teams there. Yeah. And then there's this other one in Spain as well. The Serie A. No, La Liga. Serie A is in Italy. La Liga is in Spain. They have random teams that I can't remember. I think there's a team called Barcelona. Something like that. Yeah. And Los Blancos, of course. The second biggest team in the world. Real Madrid. Don't even try to argue with me in this one. But anyway, yeah, so we went to watch a J League game. It was really amazing. I'm gonna try to put up these footages now and then, and it's like a mini vlog of me going to watch a football game. One of my favorite things to do here in Japan. Another thing, slow or a quick digress, just going off topic. I make these videos most of the time for South Africans because I'm South African, and South Africans seem to like my content, especially people that seem to have a connection with me back home, people that knew me from SABC's Morning Live. I used to work for a breakfast show there called Morning Live with Vuyo Mbuli, the late Vuyo Mbuli. It's been 13 years since my homie died. Man, what a cool guy. And Leanne Manners, she's still there holding the fort while I'm still away. Valen Kirtley, yeah, we used to work together. Lebohang Tinane, all the greats. Yeah, so it's been a while since I left the SABC and Morning Life. It's been a while since I left South Africa. For those who are still not aware, in my comments on Facebook and X and Instagram, people are saying, "Oh my God, so nice to see you. Where have you been?" I've been here in Japan. I've been living in Tokyo for the past 6-7 years, and I've been living in Japan for 9 years now in total. I started out living in Nagasaki. That's why the years kind of like are broken down like that. I started out in Nagasaki my first 2 years, and then I moved to Tokyo in 2019. It's been amazing. It's been a great journey. And so, yeah, I make these videos for you guys, just basically to catch up and also for myself. I like my little studio now. I like recording. I like talking to this microphone, talking to you guys that are watching. I'm very grateful for people who are liking, subscribing, and always commenting. Please keep it up, keep it going. I will try to make this videos as frequent as possible, and I will try to grow the channel, hopefully with more content. But yeah, the content is mostly about living abroad, and in my case, being in Japan, and the things that I get up to. I've got another podcast, which is very slow these days. It's called Black Vibes Japan, and I do it with Evans. You will see him now and then in the short clips that I'm gonna upload. Evans and we went to watch this game, FC Tokyo versus Urawa Reds. Really awesome game, top tier stuff. And then in Japan, they are celebrating 100 years of something now on the J League or on football. I kind of forgot what it is. I'll try to find out, and then I'll type a little bit of a description below. Yeah, so because they're celebrating that 100 years of football, of J League or whatever it is, they've decided that every game must end with a winner. So there are no draws now. There's no 1-1, we all go home and take 1 point each, or 0-0, we take 1 point each. No, there must be a winner. After the game, they will go to a penalty shootout. The winner takes 2 points. The loser goes home with 1 point. Really fun, I'm telling you. And I think they should actually keep it up for the whole season. I think this format is going to end in August. Again, please Google it if you want the full details. If you do not actually know about this rule, you can also explain it in the comment section there. So I'm talking about the safety, the orderliness, and the organization, just how harmonious things can be in Japan. Also a disclaimer, it is not always the case. Sometimes there are some things that go haywire and really go whew. But anyway, I took out this one example of me going to the stadium because I love watching football. I used to watch football in South Africa. I used to watch the derby with my friends. at FNB Stadium, Soccer City. Man, I miss that place. And I miss the South African vibe. The vibes are so different when you go to a stadium here in Japan versus when you go to a stadium in South Africa, as it should be, because the cultures are different everywhere across the world. So here, I went to the stadium. The stadium is called Ajinomoto Stadium, which is on the far western side of Tokyo, actually very close to where I live. We go to the stadium and I start off by my journey. I don't have a car. It's been 9 years without owning a car. Can't believe it. Here in Japan, another pro tip in case you are planning to visit. Here we walk a lot. So you must always have nice, comfortable shoes. We walk here. My fitness level has gone up in terms of walking. I never walked this much in South Africa. In South Africa, I could never dream of walking, for example, a distance of, let's say, on Oxford Road there, and you go from Rosebank to Sandton. I could never dream of doing that. But here in Japan, I do that 3 or 4 times over in one day. Easy peasy, I'm telling you. Yeah, but also the trains are so efficient here. So walking from your house to the train station and getting on a train going somewhere is so easy and it's so nice. And that's what we do. That's how we get by. That's why I don't have a car. That's why I do not need a car. And also, I must add that I live in a very urban area. If you're out in rural places in rural Japan where public transportation is really hard, yeah, there you might need a car. And if you, like me as well, if you like hiking or going on exploring the countryside, yeah, then it will help to get a car. So sometimes I rent a car and then I go out and about into the more hard to reach places of Japan. I'll do a video about that one day of me going out hiking. But this video today is me going out to a soccer stadium to watch a football game, because as you can tell, I love football. I mean, I'm wearing a football jersey. There's football jerseys all around here. My first ever video here was about football, was about the Africa Cup of Nations. Do you remember? Yeah. So we went to watch a game, and then I think I've said we went to watch a game so many times. I'm gonna have to cut that out at some point. At some point. So we went to watch a game. Yeah. Okay. So this is how it began. I get on my bicycle as always. I cycle all the way to the station. And then from the station, I get on a train from my station to another station called Mizonokuchi. Yeah, and then when I get there, I transfer. Yeah, the transfers can also be many. The area that I needed to go to took a lot of transfers for me, about 3 transfers. I had to change the train 3 times, but it's so efficient. You can see, I'll show you in the videos with a little clips here and there. It's so efficient. The trains are always on time, which I love very much. And I've never ever heard of a train being cancelled unless there was an accident, for example. I mean, and people, the people that run the train company or the train line, they would apologize profusely if the train is 1 minute late, even 1 minute late, or if there's something hectic happening, maintenance or breakdowns, anything like that. So most of us rely on trains, and the trains are punctual. Get on the train, a couple of transfers, and I get off at the station, and it is packed, crowded. And from the station already, it is crowded. And then they've divided the train station into different lanes, like keep left if you are going to the exit, keep right if you are going into the entrance, if you're coming in. And it was so orderly. Nobody was rushing, nobody was pushing anybody around. I can just imagine, no disrespect to South Africa, but I can imagine in crowds like that, oh my God, people would be pushed, people would get hurt, they would be screaming and fights would erupt. Again, no disrespect. I mean, I've been to FNB Stadium when it's really, really crowded, and I walked out there alive, uncut, untouched, unscratched. Crowd controls also happen to the levels that can happen. But here in Japan, honestly, they take the cake in making sure things happen orderly. And a lot of us complain. As an African, I complain about there are too many rules in Japan. You know, they are sucking out the fun out of events or out of things, because rowdiness, out of controlness sometimes is a little bit entertaining, and it is a little bit fun now and then. But also at the same time, it can be dangerous and it can put you off from attending events. But not here in Japan. Oh my goodness, the only thing in Japan that will put you off from attending an event is struggling to actually get a ticket to go there, or not being able to understand the Japanese that will be thrown at you while you're there. That's some of the things that might put you off. I don't know if people that live here in Japan that are watching, if you have any other things that put you off from going to events, please feel free to share with us. But yeah, but things happen so harmoniously here and things happen so orderly. Sometimes it is actually really nice and it has made me complacent. I take it for granted sometimes, just how great it is to be able to be guided from point A to point B without hassles, without fuss. And Japan has a population of around 120, maybe 122 million. So it's quite a lot of people in a very small space. Japan is a small country itself. The whole country can fit in the Northern Cape province, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a little bit bigger than that. Just don't quote me on this one. But it is very small. South Africa is far bigger than Japan geographically, land mass wise. So very small country here in terms of geography, in terms of its actual physical size, but it's a very big country in terms of economy and population. So a lot of people like to go to events. The stadium, I was surprised, was not packed to capacity. I think the attendance was just around 34,000 people there. But you can imagine 34,000 people all at once coming out of train stations, coming out of trains, walking in these small streets, trying to get to the station, just how chaotic that can be. And it takes me back to a few years ago when there were those massive stampedes in South Korea because of the Halloween party. And I want to say hundreds of people died because of crowds not being controlled properly, people pushing and shoving. That happens. In South Africa, we had massive stampedes at Ellis Park. You guys remember? Very, very big. I think this was in the early 2000s. Yeah, a lot of people died. Lots of people got hurt because there wasn't enough crowd management or crowd control. I think it was a game between Orlando Pirates and the two biggest clubs on the African continent. Imagine trying to go view something that you really love and then not being able to go home, or a loved one not being able to go home because they lost their lives trying to attend something that should be fun, something entertaining. So here in Japan, they do really amazing things to avoid that. But then again, they don't even do quite a lot. It's bare minimum in a way. And I think it does help in the fact that Japanese people are also a nation that loves orderly things. I mean, they are not rowdy people. Don't get me wrong. Japanese people love to have fun as well. Japanese people do love to be loud. This is also something so strange in that when you're in the train, people are quiet. Nobody talks in the train. That used to shock me as well. Culture shock thing. When I was in the train, nobody's talking on the phone. Now, yes, young people do talk on the trains, and I talk on the train with my friends because, I'm a foreigner and I am out of control. Just kidding. I talk in hush-hush voices. When people come to visit me and then they are talking on the train, I'm always like, shh, you have to keep quiet. Yeah, and I feel embarrassed for them. All fun. But yeah, people do talk on the train. People do have conversations as they should. We are all social people. We like to do that. But people are so respectful. They try to keep what they call manner mode, having manners, having good manners, respecting other people, respecting people that might be tired going to work or coming from work. So you don't want to disturb them, or you just don't want to be rowdy next to them. I also appreciate it a lot. Sometimes I go to work very early in the morning. So at like 6 in the morning in the train, it's so nice to be tranquil, to just be calm and just feeling like, oh my goodness, internally psyching yourself up for the day ahead. And when I come back from work, I am obviously tired. So I'd like to be in a space where it's kind of relaxing. I don't want to be like stressed out by people making a noise. I was on a train in LA once. Oh my goodness. It stresses you out. I'm not a person that has anxiety, but when I was on a train in LA, man, I developed anxiety. But anyway, Japan, really special in its own way. So yeah, so Japanese people love or appreciate that sense of having good manners around other people. But they can also be so surprising because fast forward now, I'm off the train, I'm walking down the streets, getting to the station, and then the loud roar from the Urawa Reds fans. Just check it on this video coming up here. I'm going to put it up for you. Man, those people, they were loud. They were beating drums, flying flags high, making a racket, making a...
Excellent A1 efficiently. Second grade. Let's see Tokyo.
Hell of a noise. It reminded me of Green Street hooligan vibe of the UK, or just the fans in Turkey, the ones that make a lot of noise, burning torches and flares into the sky or into the stadium. Wow. Yeah, you get such different vibes of the people. Like 1 minute outside of the stadium, in the train going to the station or going to the stadium, the people are so calm and so, orderly, so polite. But the minute they're in the stadium, they lose it. The only thing that was missing was the vuvuzela. I don't even know where my vuvuzela is. I brought a vuvuzela when I came to Japan from South Africa, but now I don't. Maybe I gave it to the school when I left in Naga. Yeah, maybe I donated it to the school. I can't remember. But yeah, and the differences are also crazy because me, Tabo, and this other friend of ours called Klohelo and Shumi, we once went to a rugby game. We went to watch Sangoreras versus Sangoreras. No, the team is called San Goliath, but we call them Sangorera because they go Gorera. Yeah, San Goliath. They were playing against some other team, and the only reason we went to watch was because Cheslin Kobe was playing. Why was it? Was it Cheslin? Yeah. San Goliath. This is the little stress ball mascot thing. Yeah, Cheslin. He actually threw this ball to me and I caught it in the stadium. So Cheslin was playing and we went there to support him. At the rugby game, the supporters are so different. They are calm. Nobody makes a noise. Klohelo actually had a vuvuzela there and he tried to blow it a couple of times and they called security on him and he had to put it away. They said, no, it was not allowed. Screaming, yelling was not allowed at the rugby game, which was very shocking. But at the football match, at the soccer game, it's completely different. There, check this out. There, people lose it. It is noisy. And when, let's say the opponents are attacking, because the very rowdy, loud fans, they are placed right behind the goalposts. So if they're behind the goalpost of the opponents, so let's say the goalkeeper is of the different team. For example, this game that we went to watch, the Urawa Reds, when they were right behind the FC Tokyo goalkeeper, man, they never gave that guy a break. They were yelling at him, taunting him. And whenever the Urawa Reds was attacking, they would make such a racket. The goalkeeper must have been nervous. I'm telling you, you need nerves of steel. You need to be able to handle pressure like a mother to survive. Because wow, the noise those guys made. And on the opposite side as well, FC Tokyo fans. I was supporting FC Tokyo on the day. They lost it as well. What? Everybody makes such a noise, but the minute you leave, it's dead silent again. I'm like, wow, these guys. That was quite fascinating. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So there you go. That's what Japan is like. And that's one of the things I like about Japan so much, in that they love order. Order is their thing here. If there are too many big crowds, they will partition the roads. Guys, try to keep on the left if you're going this way, keep on the right if you're going that way. And people do like to follow the rules. Now and then, yes, you'll get a rowdy crowd or a rowdy bunch, like teenagers, sometimes they break the law because, they're getting a little bit of an influence from Western worlds or just television. Like young people, always, everywhere in the world, young people are the ones that usually tend to break the traditions a little bit. It does happen, So yeah, so now and then, I'm not saying Japanese people are perfect or anything, but now and then, you'll get people doing things that are like disorderly, but nothing really harmful or anything. But yeah, it's really nice here. Things can be so calm, things can be so orderly, and things can be done in such a way that it runs really smooth. And that's one of the biggest things that I like about living here in Japan. A lot of people think that I complain a lot, which I do, yes, which I do. Once we went to the park and they told us we can't make a noise at the park. And I'm like, what? We are outdoors, man. We're supposed to make a noise. We're supposed to enjoy ourselves. They're like, yeah, enjoy yourselves. But do remember, Japanese people are not like the loud type. And we were like, okay, yeah, we get it. And, we settled down and eventually we all enjoyed it. But yes, a lot of people think I complain a lot and they ask me, how do you survive? The social vibe in Japan is not like where you come from in South Africa, where we just lose our shits and do things in a very different, in a very loud and flamboyant kind of way. I'm like, yeah, in a way you get used to it, and eventually you also kind of assimilate or you adapt, you follow the rules. And when you follow the rules, eventually you get to enjoy life in a way that is a little bit more acceptable for yourself and for the people that obviously are allowing you to stay in their country for some time. Yeah, there are many other instances like this. I remember when we went to fireworks during the summer. We go to a lot of fireworks. Me and Theo, we went, and the fireworks, they also get crowded. Parks are really small here, so having tens of thousands of people, like 50, 60,000 people in a very small park, it can get really, really crowded. But you live there feeling happy. You are always safe. You didn't lose your wallet. If you lose your wallet, chances are you will find it at lost and found. Somebody will return it there. If you lose your phone, somebody will take it back, and then you can find it in a matter of days or so. It has happened to me before. I lost a wallet while I was out in Gunma. And the same day I lost it was like a Saturday morning, maybe around 10, 11 in the morning, because we were on a road trip. And I think it fell out of my pocket while I was sitting on a bench. And I left it there. We came back about 2 or 3 hours later when I realized I lost my wallet. And guess what? We went to the police station. Guess what? Somebody had returned it to the police station. They asked me to identify it. And after a couple of minutes of paperwork, okay, by a couple of minutes, I'm exaggerating. It took a long time. After like 40, 50, maybe an hour of paperwork and of questions, I got my wallet back, and then we got back on the road trip. So it does happen here in Japan that things are so safe, things are so organized, that you really can get complacent. I go home sometimes to South Africa, and then I forget, and I put my cell phone just on the table when we're sitting having drinks in a bar, and people are always saying, hey man, put your phone safe, put it in your pocket. Waiters will also come and tell you, hey, put your phone safe because it will disappear. Not that South Africa is unsafe or anything. Like, for people who want to visit South Africa, trust me, you can go there and have a mighty good time. I've taken Americans there a lot, and they have enjoyed themselves without even noticing that it is apparently so dangerous. I've got a bunch of Japanese people that have gone to South Africa, and they've asked me for recommendations, and they come back, they're like, oh my God, I want to live there. It's so nice. The country is great. So you can definitely go there and have a good time. But here in Japan, I'm telling you, they do take the cake in terms of making things very orderly. Yeah, when we went to the fireworks, it was very crowded. Traffic is a nightmare. But you've got these security guards with just little red glow-in-the-dark things that, what do they call them? These beams that show you, go left, go right. That's all they have. No guns, no batons, no bats, nothing, no whip to keep you in order, to beat you into a line. No, none of that. Just other people around telling you, oh no, don't go this way, you can go that way, no pass. And people listen here. That's also the nice part. When you tell Japanese people, oh, you can't pass here, they won't be like, why? My ticket says I can pass here. No, they don't. They're like, okay, cool. Which way do we go? And I've come to really enjoy that about being in Japan. In a way, it gives you such peace of mind, man. You can go to a stadium, you can really enjoy yourself. Cans and bottles are not allowed into the stadium for people that drink alcohol, but they'll give you plastic cups, and you can empty your can into the plastic cup, and then you enter the stadium, and life is great. Life is all dandy. Yeah. So yeah, those are some of the things that I enjoy. Yes, I do sometimes complain about other things, but things can be so harmonious here. And that is actually really one of the reasons why I love living abroad, or why I love living in Japan. And for people that keep asking, what is it that I do for fun when I'm in Japan? What do I get up to? Yeah, going to the stadium or going to some events, like going to the park to watch fireworks, going to watch some live performances. Those are the things that keep me insane, that I do enjoy. I went hiking the other day as well, which was really nice. Maybe I'll do a video a little bit later on about hiking in Japan. The slopes are great. The steeps are intense. Yeah, but the nature is really beautiful. Depending on the season, like if you go around October, November, you can see the leaves of the trees turning brown and red, beautiful autumn colors. Yeah, they call it fall, the Americans. We call it autumn. Yeah, really nice. And then now it's spring, so we can see cherry blossoms. So the trees are turning pink and white. Really beautiful. In winter, hiking is tough because it's cold, it's snowy, and it's lots of ice everywhere. You freeze your balls off. Yeah. So I'll do another video sometime soon. This was just a short video telling you about me going to watch a soccer match. Now, just to end off the video, also check this out. Me and Evans, we did a lot of commentary in our spare time because, us, we love being in front of a camera. Tell me what you think.
Evans, the first half an hour of the game has gone by. We saw the first goal being disallowed for offside. What do you make so far?
Absolutely right call, but it was very, very slim. It took a lot of time before reaching the final decision. But now I think the game is more balanced. It's half to half, so we cannot really tell how it's going to go.
Yeah, it was totally a very long wait for them to get to the decision. Totally killed the game and the momentum.
Yes, because there was it was very, very slim. Like if you look at the replay, it was very difficult to tell whether it was offside or not with the naked eye.
Yeah, so let's see what the last 15 minutes before halftime brings.
Let's go.
Maybe I should actually apply to be a pundit for the J-League here in Japan for English viewers. We did some reviews of the game, checking out how the game was going, doing a little bit of update here and there.
We have finally seen the first goal of the match. Urawa Reds finally breached the defense. Yeah, beautiful goal, a deflected goal, but a goal nonetheless.
I think you are right. When they brought in the number 9, he brought a lot of pressure to the defense. That made it just crumble, man. But that was a fantastic goal. It wasn't even inside the box. It was out of the box, and I think it just landed on its feet, on its right leg, because of pressure that they were applying on the FC Tokyo defense.
No, absolutely. Now that we've seen this goal, there's about 5 or 7 minutes to go of the second half. Do you think we can see any more goals, or is this done?
I think Urawa can add one more because FC Tokyo now is kind of risking it. But Urawa has fresh legs in the field right now, so it's a danger.
All right, the game's about to kick off again. Let's get back to it.
I'm going to put all of these videos at the end, so feel free to watch me doing some commentary and some punditry. Otherwise, that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video talking about the things that I do here in Japan and talking a little bit about the safety here. Sometimes it's too safe here in Japan, so safe. Nothing will ever happen to you, but that's what I enjoy. That's what I love, and that's one of the reasons I'm staying in Japan for such a long time. Despite strawberries being so expensive, avocados being so expensive, residence tax, taxes can also be really expensive here. But the taxes, they are going to ensuring that stadiums are always great. They're always safe. There's people to guide you, to make sure you feel comfortable and that you don't feel rushed or feel threatened while you're out there. And also, a little bit of sharing about the Japanese culture with people being very silent and quiet in the train stations or inside the train itself. But once they are at a soccer stadium, it's completely different. They can be noisy and loud. Yeah, so don't be fooled when you hear that. No, Japanese people are so calm, are so shizuka. Shizuka means silent or quiet, or I don't know, somber. Maybe somber is a little bit of a hectic description, but they are also very lovely and vibrant people that love to have fun. They scream just as loud at stadiums. They beat drums. The only thing that they need to introduce absolutely is the vuvuzela, man. Get the vuvuzela at the stadium. I'm telling you, they will love it. The Urawa Reds fans, those people, they showed me that Japanese people can also enjoy a bit of fun. I don't support FC Tokyo anymore because I don't live in Tokyo. I live just outside of Tokyo. I live in Kawasaki. Therefore, now I support Kawasaki Frontale. I can upload some of the videos of Kawasaki Frontale that I watched a few months back. This season, I haven't watched any of the games live yet. I will try to go very soon. And yes, before you say it, I know I'm not very loyal to Japanese teams because it's the J-League. I'm only loyal to 3 clubs or 3 teams in the world. Bafana Bafana, which is my country, my nation. Manchester United, which is the biggest football institution in the world. And Kaizer Chiefs, which is the biggest football institution on the African continent. Whether or not you agree has nothing to do with me.
All right, so we just saw a beautiful game. 1-1 was the final score, and then it went to penalties, of which FC Tokyo scored 5 out of 5 and Urawa Reds only 4. What do you say?
To be honest, the second half was more entertaining than the first half because, of course, of the goals.
Yeah.
All the teams decided to go for it.
Yeah.
And then once FC Tokyo, once Urawa Reds got once Urawa Reds was winning,
Yeah.
started defending. And once you do that, there's always momentum with the losing team, and it will try as much as it can
Yeah.
to equalize. And once it goes to penalties, it's anyone's game.
Yeah, it was in a way a little bit expected that once FC Tokyo conceded that goal, that they would also take a risk and try to get something out of it. And at that moment, we thought they might make mistakes at the back and it might end up being 2-0. But then, yeah, they equalized, made it 1-1. And Urawa Reds, yes, you're right, they're being punished for basically going a little bit to sleep at the end there.
Yeah, but I think they were also too cautious, and but at the same time, they were hoping for a second goal. They found a few chances to close up the game, but they did not take those chances.
Yeah.
And football is a game of chances. Once you don't take them, you get punished.
Yeah, and what do you make of the penalties? The penalties were...
Penalties is anybody's game, but Urawa Reds, like FC Tokyo, had more players who left-footed players who, as we know in the culture of football, left-footed players are usually the best when it comes to taking penalties.
They will absolutely
It
destroy
was
them.
anyone's game, but I think overall speaking, I feel like Urawa Reds deserved it more than FC Tokyo.
All right, so this was the football edition where we went out to watch FC Tokyo versus Urawa Reds. The game ended 1-1, and then FC Tokyo won on penalties 5-3, which was absolutely stunning.
What a game.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Until the next game, peace.
Peace.